Welcome to episode 3 of Mindful Running. We're going to look at being in the run. So when we go out to run, just want you to take a moment and just think, what do you currently do when you're running? Do you have any distractions? Do you bring your headphones? Are you listening to music? Are you listening to audio books? What's going on when you're running? And just get present to the fact that the more we overload the senses, the more we're not actually present to the body and the mind. Now, one of the benefits, obviously, is with running is that we tend to not think about things, and that's one of the great things, is to get away from those thinking, which is ideal. But we want to be able to focus the mind on what we're doing. Otherwise, we're just going from one thing to the next. So if you tend to run with others and you're running a conversation at the same time, just be aware that you're not in the run. You're in the conversation. And when you're not in the run, you're not connected to your body or your mind. So let's introduce some mindfulness techniques where you can be in the body and focus the mind. So within mindfulness, in the original teachings, focusing on the breath is the best way to focus the mind. And the reason for that is because it's always there. It's constant. So breath meditation is ideal for beginners. But is also a technique that you can focus while you're running. You can focus just on the breath. The other focus is the feet. So you could actually place your focus on the feet and really get present to that placement of the foot as you run. So that's another technique. So to be able to be more present in the run, I'm going to introduce the 6 senses as a practice while you're running. So the 6 senses are our 6 sense doors of how we experience the world. So we've got how we see the world, how we hear the world, how we smell the world, how we taste the world, how we think is the 6th sense, is the mind. So if we think about the elements when we're out running, the wind on your face, if you start to feel the wind, what it feels like, the temperature of it, maybe the temperature of your body, maybe as you're passing, you're smelling things in the air. And the way to do this is to label it so you recognize it. So as you're going through your run, you can start to notice feeling. Let's say on the wind, you can say feeling, feeling, feeling. Or if you hear something, you can say hearing, hearing, hearing. And smelling, smelling, smelling. Or if a thought comes in, thinking, thinking, thinking. And then you can start to get present to each sense. And you become more present in the run. Another technique is the hand mudras. So the hand mudras are really there to give you that focus. So when you're doing this, each fingertip is actually very sensitive and linked to the brain. So there are things that you can do if you need to calm the mind down, is when you're running, you can actually just touch each finger like this, and that will actually calm you down, and it calms the nervous system down to get present to the run. And then just having this static movement is very light as you're running, so you're not tensing, and it will avoid the mind wandering. So as you do run, think of you like it's your body's like a feather. You're just gliding through the air. So there's no tension in the body when you run. So really think about the posture. Make sure your chest is up and think about the landing. And to think about the landing, just think how Kenyan runners run and how they land. So just wanted to say a few words about mindfulness and being in the run. So mindfulness is paying attention in the present moment, fully aware of what is happening around you and not bringing any judgment to it. So as you may have noticed, when we do go running, we tend to leave all the worries and cares behind because we are focused on the running. So there is a deeper stage that we can go into in terms of being in the run, and that is when we can eliminate all those other distractions, and we're actually present to what we're doing in the moment. It's so easily to get distracted with, perhaps maybe we've got headphones and we're listening to music or audiobook. You may even be listening to this right now as you're running. So, but hopefully with a different purpose in mind, of to train the mind to be able to be in the run. So when we stop and we really kind of look around, there's so much going on, so much to see, so much to take in, so much to feel. And if we engage the six senses, we are really interacting with everything in that moment, and it just brings a lot more joy into the experience and awareness. So the six senses are really what we see around us. So nature, or we're out running in the park or by a canal. It's easy to get distracted by how lovely it is, and
our thoughts to go off into different thinking loops around what we see. So being in the present moment is kind of recognizing it, accepting it, and perhaps investigating if the mind's going wandering off, and then coming back and non-attaching yourself to that moment. So another sense is hearing. So we may hear something. We may hear voices. We may hear another runner. We may hear a cyclist. Again, it's hearing, 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 but not attaching yourself to the noise, making it to mean something different. So there's smelling as well. We may be running past a farm and we smell some farm smells. Again, we may like it, we may dislike it, but then to go into judgment about it is bringing you away from the moment. So go back into the run, recognize it, accept it, investigate it, and non-attach, non-identify, bring yourself back. So the other one is feeling, sort of touching. Say you may feel the wind on your face, or you may feel the rain on your head, your body. Again, not to go into like or dislike or should bought a raincoat. Just be with it. Be with the experience and allow yourself to experience it. Recognize it, accept it. It is what it is. And then investigate it if you need to, if you're thinking, making something more of it. And then non-identify. So we've looked at sight, we've looked at smell, we've looked at hearing, we've looked at touching. The other one is tasting. So you may, if you're running by the beach, you may taste the salt in the air. Again, recognize it, accept it, investigate it if you need to, and then non-identify with it. Bring yourself back into the run. And finally, the other one that really kind of does distract us and takes us away from the run is the mind. So thinking, thinking, thinking. So if a thought comes in, recognize it. It may be something that, you've forgotten to put the alarm on, or the GPS tracker or something like that. Just recognize it as thinking, accept it. That's the nature of the mind, to have these thoughts, 80,000 a day. Most of them are repetitive. And then investigate it. What's causing that thought? Where's it coming from? And then non-identify and let go. Be in the run. Bring yourself back to the run. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an insight into those 6 senses and what we mean in terms of being mindful in the present moment and not judging that moment.
questions? Okay, let's practice. Now we're going to get ready to do some dynamic stretches, and we're going to start with lunges. Okay, so get into position. Start with the right leg, change, left leg. Stop the movement. Inhale up. Exhale down. To the side. Up. Exhale down. Inhale. Back the left wrist. Put it over. Side stretch. Back to the middle. Over to the left. Middle. Exhale down. Arm comes across. Release. Change. Release. Now lifting the knees up. Just getting present to now the lift. And what we're going to do now is just practice the foot strike in slow motion. So what we're going to do, stand in posture. We're going to transfer all the weight to the right leg. We're going to lift the left. Just the balance. We're going to extend, and then we're going to slowly place it down. Change. Place down. Okay, so just looking from the side. Practicing that placing of the foot. And then bringing the hands into the position. Elbows are in. Now we've done a few dynamic stretches and warm up. We are ready to go. Let's start mindful running. Right, so starting off with a slow jog, paying attention to your posture. So that's slight lean forward, arms tucked in by the sides, elbows, mudra position with the fingers, and making sure you've got the right stride. And now thinking about how you're landing with the foot strike. Now getting present to the breath, knowing you're breathing in and knowing you're breathing out. Now start to engage all the senses, so what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch, feel. And the thoughts, and just noticing them, so recognizing, accepting, investigating, and then non-identify and let go and come back into the run. So getting present to all the elements around you and being in the moment. Making small adjustments to your posture as you slow jog. Paying attention to the breath. So if you finish the nose breathing, then come back to normal breathing. Perhaps in the mouth, in and out of the mouth, and just be aware of it. Now starting to pick up the pace, so going a lot faster, go to your normal running pace that you would do normally. And now adjust the posture slightly, just do another body scan from the head all the way down to the toes and check the posture. Has it changed? Does it need adjustment? Now focusing on the breath as you've got faster, noticing any changes in the breath. Where are you breathing into? The chest, the belly, what's going on? Just note, be aware of it. Getting present to the six senses. If the mind wanders, just reassure yourself that is the nature of the mind, to wander, and just bring yourself back into the run through engaging those six senses. Notice the changes moment by moment. If your mind has wandered, bring yourself back into the present moment through engaging the six senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? Feel? Touch? What are you thinking? What are you tasting? Going through all those six senses and being in the run. Now picking up the pace, so into more of a sprint. Scan the body from head to toe and check your posture. Are you running in the correct posture? Is there the slight lean forward? Are your arms tucked in? Have you got the mudra? Are you landing correctly? And check your stride. Now, as the intensity has gone up in your running, make sure you check the breath, and make the necessary adjustments. So you might want to increase the inhale to 8 steps and exhale to 8, or just be aware and get into a rhythm with the breath. And as you do this, especially when it's longer distance running, once you get into the rhythm, you're efficiently supplying the body with the oxygen that it needs to function. So work out what is good for you and apply that mindful breathing to your running right now. Now coming down back to your normal pace, normal running pace. As you slow down, do a body scan, check the posture from head to toe. Are you still leaning forward? Have you got the elbows tucked in? The hands are light and loose. And checking the landing and the stride. Noticing the breathing as you've changed pace again. Just being aware of the breath coming in. Know that you're breathing in. Know that you're breathing out. Inhaling as much oxygen as you can and exhaling it out. Adjusting the rhythm in accordance with the steps. reminding yourself to be in the moment. Bring yourself into the here and now. Be with your body, be with your mind, be in the run. Now slowing down to a slow jog, scanning the body from head to toe, checking your posture. Are you still leaning forward? Got the elbows tucked in, the hand mudra, and checking the landing and the stride. Now slowing down to a walk, checking your posture, and finishing with a few lunges on each leg to slow down, slowing right down, and finding an area to do the outside section of the cool down. Now incorporating the final awareness of the breath through long, deep breathing. So if you can do this in through the nose and out through the nose for this final section, that's ideal. If it's too much, just in through the mouth. Long, deep breathing into the belly and then out. Be aware of the breath. Know that you're breathing in and know that you're breathing out. Now as you go through the cool down, start to visualize the breath. Use the visualization technique of breathing in through the nose and visualize the breath coming down into that muscle, and then as you breathe out, it's releasing any tension. Now as you slow down, start to reflect on the six senses and being in the moment. And how different was it being in the run to when you've run before? Just see if you can make some notes on what was different and whether it was of benefit or not. And if it was of benefit, then remember it's a practice. All mindfulness training are practices, and it takes time to master them. So keep up the practice and the benefits will come. And those benefits are being at peace with the body and the mind, reducing the amount of injuries, increasing the amount of joy and satisfaction in your running practice overall. And that will also expand to other areas of your life. So if you found this useful, please start to think about how you can apply mindfulness to other areas, such as mindful eating, mindful walking, and mindful breathing. So we're going to cool down with the yogic cool down and look at some key stretches that we can do. Holding these stretches for a bit longer will strengthen the fascia and prevent muscle tears. Here's an overview of what we're going to do. Okay, now we've done the run. It's time for a cool down. So just find a place wherever you are, park, and into standing, opening the chest out. Just take a deep breath in. Right leg turns forward. And bring the arms in. Stretching half muscle. 3 deep breaths. Release. Go back onto the back leg and reach into the toes. 3 deep breaths. Change legs. This time interlocking the fingers behind. 3 deep breaths.
back to the middle. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. And from here, grab the left wrist and just pull this over to the side stretch. Back to the middle. Change. And back to the middle. Exhale down. And bringing the hands together, the chest. And just take 3 deep breaths in here. And smile on your face, enjoying the warm down. So welcome to Yoga for Runners. We're going to introduce you to some yoga exercises that you can do when you come back from your run, and to prevent injuries and calm the mind and the body down. So bringing the hands together, let's take a deep inhale, lift up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Placing the hands onto the knees and just circling from the hips. And change direction. And stop the movement. Now hands onto the shoulders and just roll the shoulders back. Loosening off the shoulders. Breathe into the shoulders. And change direction. Stop the movement. Deep inhale. And exhale down. Right hand, sliding the right hand. Left hand comes over. And then change. And back to the middle. Now we turn onto our sides and extend the legs out. So just shaking the legs out and bending the right knee, hugging it in, and then turning it onto the side. Inhale up and exhale forward, looking ahead. Nice deep breathing. Just go to where you can go to. Make sure you've got the leg nice and straight, looking ahead. Nice deep breathing. want to aim for about 3 deep breaths on each stretch. Okay. Change. Inhale up, relax the shoulders and come forward, looking ahead. And then release, both legs out. Inhale and exhale forward. Slowly release, crossing the legs and coming up onto the knees into cat-cow. So the hands directly below the shoulders and the hips below the knees. This is really good for the lower back. So inhale, dropping the belly to the floor, and exhale, arching the back. Inhale up, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then stop the movement. And then slowly come back onto the heels and just stretch forward and forehead comes down. And then slowly come back up. I'm going to take the hands slightly forward of the shoulders. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the right leg out behind us. And then we're going to bend the knee and just bring it in the center line and take it out to the left. And then slowly come back into a pigeon pose, which is really good for runners to get this muscle working in the legs and the buttocks. Looking ahead, nice deep breathing. And then slowly release. Tuck the toe under and bring the leg back. And come back down. Just to release that. And come up. And I'm going to do for the left hand side. Bring the left leg forward. Just adjusting. And coming down onto the elbows. Looking ahead. Nice deep breathing. If you've got any pain in the knee, just you can release it, make it a little bit easier, or you can, I'll show you an alternative move, what you can do next. Looking ahead. And then slowly release. Tuck that toe under and bring it back down. And now taking the hands slightly forward, we're going to get into a downward dog position. So we come up on to the toes and then just pedal the feet out to downward dog. And just walk the feet forward now, step by step, into a forward fold. Just letting the hands dangle, the head comes down, getting the chest to the thighs, and then bending the knees, coming down and coming onto the back. Okay, so the alternative to pigeon, what you can do on the floor is lift the right leg up and place it just below the left knee and bring the thigh forward. Nice deep breathing. Threading the needle is what this is called. And then release and change sides. And slowly release. Okay. And now, final posture, really good, is to get into Shavasana and just let your body rest after doing the run. It can only just be for a short time, just to allow the body to realign itself. Just take 3 deep breaths in here. And then wiggling the toes and the fingers. Bringing the knees up, circling the ankles and the wrists. Change direction. Bringing the knees in. And then just rock side to side. Massaging the back. And the right hand comes up to the right ear. Roll over onto that side. And slowly pressing yourself up to a seated position. And just closing the practice, the run, by bringing your hands together, taking a deep breath in, putting a smile on your face, and bringing to mind gratitude for being able to run and what you experienced today on the run. Maybe it's gratitude for fellow runners that you have in your life. Whatever it is, just bring it to mind and feel that contentment. And just taking a bow forward, gratitude to yourself for giving yourself this time to do this practice, to do this one cool down with yoga moves. and for exercising the body and the mind. Namaste.
Always welcome any feedback on this. And if you are part of any running clubs and you wish to get this, do the practice live, that's something that we can organise. Just get in touch. And there's also a Satori Mindful Running community on Strava that you can join too. So I'll just leave you with this. A good runner leaves no footprints.